What are we getting, John? It's your favorite. Oh boy. Okay, let's give you this. Okay. Hey guys. So you saw me take strawberries out of the freezer. They're strawberry seeds. So I've got Buried Treasure strawberries from Proven Winners. These are ever-bearing strawberries, and we'll get into the difference in strawberries in a moment. But I had them in the freezer for about 4 weeks, and they were just cold stratifying. Some seeds need cold treatment to germinate. Some seeds need to be nicked up a little bit to germinate, to break the seed coat. Cold stratification is what strawberry seeds need to germinate. So they've been sitting in there for about 4 weeks, I'd say, give or take. And now I'm ready to plant. And it's something I've never done before. And I'm in my husband's workshop, which is kind of, the furnace is here and everything, but we've turned it into my growing station too. So I thought it would be fun to experiment with strawberry seeds this year. So I've got 3 different varieties. They're all Proven Winners varieties, ever-bearing. I've got Buried Treasure White, Pink, and red. I'm back. And there's a difference. They don't all germinate at the same time. From what I've read, the white is the fastest to germinate, then the pink, and then the red can take a few weeks. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly they germinate and compare them. And let me show you my containers too. I'm doing this on the cheap. So, those plastic containers with tomatoes in them you get from the grocery store? I saved 3 of them because I've known for many months that I was going to try strawberry plants from seed. Save those containers because they're perfect. They're perfect little germination trays. They've already got holes in the bottom of them. They've got a lid, and it's clear. So strawberry seeds need light to germinate too. So these will go on a heat mat as well as under lights. So perfect container. I've labeled all of them with permanent markers. So this R for red. I've got my white container and my pink container. And I'm just gonna fill them with my seed starting mix. But before we start that, I thought we'd talk a little bit about the difference in strawberries, because I know when I was just getting started in strawberry plants years ago, I didn't understand what the difference was. I understood June bearing. June bearing, pretty much explains itself. They produce a prolific amount of fruit in June, and then they're done for the year. So that's a common option. You'll find those a lot at the nurseries and the big box stores. Then there's everbearing, and that's what the Buried Treasure line is. They're everbearing. So they produce a crop in June and a crop in the fall. So that's what these are. Then there's also a variety called Day Neutral, and those are often grown under low tunnels, and they're treated as annuals. They produce a large crop of fruit, and then it's over with. So I'm doing everbearing, and I don't have a big enough space where I'm going to be canning and making jams and stuff like that. That would be wonderful in a perfect world. That would be ideal. I just like to pick strawberries in my garden as I'm working, kind of like how I like to pick my cherry tomatoes as I work. So that's the goal. That's what I'm going to be doing with these guys. But I just thought it's always so much fun to try new things. And this is my experiment for this year. So I'm not going to jump right in and start planting the seeds as soon as I pull them out of the freezer. I'm going to let them warm up a little bit. And while they're warming up, I'm going to fill my containers with seed starting mix. I've got all of them labeled. So I've got a W on one for the white ones, and a pink or a P on the one for the pink ones, and an R on the container for the red one. So I know what's what. And according to the label, it says red. The reds take quite a while to germinate compared to the pink, the white, and the pink, white being the fastest. So I'm just filling it up to the top and leveling it off a bit. And let me fill the rest of them. And I can't wait to actually have strawberries in my garden that I've grown from seed. There's nothing like a sun-warmed strawberry as you're working. They are so delicious. And I'm also gonna have to think about protecting them from the birds and make sure they don't get to them before I do. But that's for another day. I'm not there yet. And if your container, whatever container you decide to use, doesn't have holes in it, you want to make sure you've got drainage holes in your containers. And it just so happens that these little tomato containers come with holes, so it kind of takes care of that stuff for me. And that's the nice thing about using what you have. I mean, a lot of things that you get at the grocery store can be repurposed into containers, yogurt cups, milk jugs for your winter sowing. You could also sow things in your milk jugs if you wanted to. There's just so many different things you can use. Egg cartons, you can sow things in egg cartons, egg trays. All right, so we're filled up. Which one do I have here? Okay, I've got the red, so I guess we'll start with red. Let me get a towel for my hands. That's something I always forget. I always forget to bring a towel wherever I'm working because I'm always filthy and then I'm touching my camera. So, okay, well, pants are good. So let's see what we have. I'm gonna start with the red, and there's 15 seeds per packet, and the packet comes with a label too. So, oh, they're super tiny. So for this, I'm literally just gonna sprinkle it over the top, and oh my gosh, they are super tiny. Okay, can you see them in there, these tiny little seeds? So I am just going to sprinkle them on the surface here. I'm not too concerned about, I'm trying to space them out a little bit. I'm not going to be too concerned about spacing because I am going to prick these out later and transfer them to their own individual pots once they get their true leaves and we're off and running. Okay, so the red is in, and then I'm going to top it off with a little bit of vermiculite. Vermiculite's nice because it keeps the surface of the soil damp so things don't dry out too quickly. I don't want to sow it too heavily because I don't want to block light to the seeds. Okay, and then the last step is just spray a little bit of water to dampen the surface. This is the pink. So next one is pink. And on the packet, you see the pink has the double pink flowers. White is a double white. And where's my red one? The red one looks like a double red. And last but not least are whites. And then these are supposed to, the white is supposed to germinate the fastest. So we will see how that goes. And now for the last step, putting them under lights. So I've got all 3 of my trays on the heat mat under the lights, and now we just hurry up and wait. And it says days to germination are about 7 to 21 days, with the white being the fastest, red being the slowest, as I mentioned. So next up, I'm just gonna throw the tags in with them. So I've got the red, pink, and white. And I will probably be down here every morning checking on them to see if anything's happened. There's that temptation to just sit here and be like, you know, like something's gonna happen while you're watching it. It never does. So I'm really excited to add growing strawberries from seed to my wheelhouse, my gardening wheelhouse. It's always nice to try something different every garden season, something new to you, to just keep growing your knowledge. And that's definitely going to happen here. But in my mind's eye, I'm envisioning having a whole, you know, Vigo garden of strawberry plants. If you're not up for growing strawberries from seed, you can always buy the Buried Treasure strawberries, proven winter variety, from your local big box store or nursery. They're delicious strawberries. They're ever bearing. So you will get two crops of strawberries, one in June and one in fall. So, and they're perennial. So they're nice. And they're also really nice to use as decorative, you know, filler plants in containers, or lining the edge of a garden bed if you like, or just plugging into your raised bed garden or your vegetable garden anywhere. The only thing is watching out, because the birds and the rabbits will beat you to those fruits before you've had a chance to even know that they're ripe. So I'll also be thinking about how I'm going to protect these from all those critters this summer. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you've been inspired to maybe try something that you're not used to, you know, something new to you. And I would love for you to subscribe, and I hope you do. So happy gardening, everybody, and I will be updating you as time goes on and let you know where we're at with our strawberry seeds. Thanks for watching, guys. Happy spring.